Hey guys, and welcome back to Mellyns. So today I thought I would show you how I organize my makeup in my drawers when I got them from the Container Store. I reorganized all of my makeup, all of my nail polish, just everything. And I didn't really go through it, I just kind of threw everything into the drawers, kind of how I wanted it. So I thought today I would go through it and show you guys how I organized it and actually take some products out and declutter them, because I literally didn't do any decluttering. I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to put things in these drawers, and I was just throwing things in. So I thought today we could go through and I'll show you what containers I bought and kind of how I'm using them. So I bought two different kinds of containers. The first are the men's shoe drawers from the Container Store. They're just these like large plastic drawers and they're really deep. So I'll show you in a second why I needed something deep. And then I also got, I also got these kids shoe containers, and this is where I put my nail polishes. So this is like tools and stuff, and then this one is all my nail polish. I just painted my nails, that's why it's out. And then I also put like overflow product in these. So I will link down below the two things that I bought, just in case you guys are interested. The Container Store has some really cool stuff. I love organizing, so I was really excited to kind of explore their website. I had never really shopped on their website before. I had never really bought anything from them, but when I realized that I needed something new for my makeup, that was the first place I kind of looked. I don't know why, and I found these things and it just worked out really well. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you guys kind of how I organize my makeup, declutter some stuff, and then yeah. So here are the drawers. You can see all my foundations. So I have two on this first shelf. This is foundations and primers. This is concealers, and then all of my powder products. And then I have two down here as well, and this is all of my eye products, and then some palettes that I use pretty often. So this is my desk, which is where I keep and store most of my makeup because it doesn't fit in my bathroom. And I have these two shelves here. So they're super deep, as you can see, and the drawers that I originally had just weren't really working anymore. They only came to about here. There was all this like wasted space back here, so I was really trying to find something that was going to be deep enough to take up a lot more of the space. And it actually worked out perfectly, because this is 20 inches and these ended up being like 14 inches and these were 16, so, or 6, sorry, not 16, 6. So it fits perfectly across here. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you kind of how that looks. And then my nail polishes go back here, but I haven't put them away yet. So we're gonna start off on this top shelf and I'll kind of explain everything to you and declutter some stuff, and then we will move on to the bottom. So I took the first drawer out. As you can see, there's nothing here. And I'm just gonna kind of go through it and show you guys what I got going on, because it's kind of hard to show you when it's in its little drawer part. So here it is. I have the dividers that go like across this way, so there are 3 different compartments in here. The first compartment is foundations that I use on a daily basis. They're the ones I'm currently using, and then in the back or in the middle section, it's foundations that are either a color for me that matches better in the summer, or stuff that I don't use as often, or new products that I haven't really totally tested out yet, but I still need to. So in the first compartment, there's not really much decluttering going on because a lot of them I use a ton. So just a few examples, like I have my NARS, what is this called? I can never remember what this is called. Natural Radiant Foundation. I have my MAC Face and Body. I have the new Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation. I have my Burberry BB Cream. Can we talk about how Burberry like discontinued the entire like Fresh Gold line? What is going on? I'm really disappointed that they did that. I hope that means that they're coming out with something different. I don't really know. But they have been having a ton of that stuff like on TJ Maxx and stuff online. So if you find it in your shade, definitely pick it up. I know that in the second compartment, I have, this is where we're going to be doing a little bit of decluttering. So first up in here, I have my Hourglass stick foundations. These I love, these I will not be getting rid of, but I find myself not really reaching for them that much anymore because I don't really wear a ton of full coverage foundations that much. And when I do, I've been picking or going for the NARS one. So I haven't been using these as much, but I think I want to put them back into that front category because I do really like these. I don't know why. So then next up I have this Bare Minerals Fresh Faced Foundation. I did a video, or I'm doing a video on this. I think it's coming after this video, where I'm testing this out. So you'll learn more about that in that video, but this is one that I'm trying to test out, so that's why it's in here. Then next up I have my NARS Sheer Glow, which this color is a little light for me, so that's why it's back here. But I kind of want to try using this again. I haven't used it in a while. And then I have some samples of foundations that I want to try. So then next up I have these two Chanel foundations, the Vita Lumiere Aqua, and I need to declutter these. These are at least 3 or 4 years old. There's hardly anything left in here, and it needs to go. I do really like this, well, I did really like this foundation. Look how disgusting that is. But it's so expensive, first of all. It's like $45 for this. And I used to really like these, but they're really old. There's not really that much left in here. There's like a tiny bit left. And the smell is just super overwhelming to me. Like, I can't use it on my skin anymore. The last time I used it, like, made me break out. And I don't know if that was from the smell or the fact that it's 4 years old. I don't really know. But I need to get rid of these. I did like them. Maybe I'll revisit it sometime in the future, but they need to go. So that is one thing I'm decluttering. Next up, we have my IT Cosmetics CC Plus creams. I honestly haven't been using these as much anymore. They used to look really good on my skin, but recently they've just been really accentuating my texture, so I haven't been reaching for them that much. But I do like to use this as like a mixing agent. So sometimes I will mix this one in with my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. That's what it's called, right? Yes, Luminous Silk Foundation. Just to help darken it a little bit, because that foundation is like way too light for me. So I do like, I'm gonna keep these around just to mix, but I'm hoping to use them up soon. It hurts me to like throw these away because they were so good, and I do really like the product. But I think recently it just hasn't been working with my skin. My skin's been, I've had a lot of texture recently, and my skin is just changing a little bit, so. But I'm hoping to reincorporate these and hopefully use them up, so I'm gonna keep those around. Next up we have this NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint, and I bought this when I was in college. And like, I just picked out the color for myself. This is in Alaska, and it's just like really yellow on me. So it doesn't really work with my skin. So I think I'm going to pass this along to a friend because it just doesn't work for me. It's also like, I don't really wear a lot of matte products on my face anymore, so I'm not really sure why I thought this was a good idea to buy. But yeah, so I'm gonna pass this along. I'm gonna declutter this as well. Look at how bad these are oxidizing on my hand too, the Chanel foundation. Oh, it just has this like really strong scent. I don't know what it is. So next up is my Maybelline Dream Cushion foundation, and I do really like this, but I feel like it's drying out a little bit. So I'm gonna keep it around and try to use it, but if it is dried out, then I may declutter this and repurchase this or try out the L'Oreal one. I like having a cushion foundation in my collection just because it's like a good easy thing to like throw in my bag or just like pop on my face quickly, like if I'm going to the beach or something. So I do like having these around. All right, next up I have two of my favorite drugstore foundations. I don't know why I was struggling. This is the CoverGirl Vital Healthy Elixir. And this is my like go-to foundation during the summer. It's really perfect because it's pretty lightweight, but it gives you like decent color coverage, but it also has SPF in it. So I really mainly reach for this during the summer, so that's why it's in the second part. That's actually a really good color match for me. And then I also have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, which I used this the other day, and I honestly not sure that I liked it as much as I used to. I don't know. I might keep this in my collection just for now, but last time I used it, like, didn't really look good on my skin, so that's a maybe. That's a maybe. And then my last foundation in here is the YSL. This is the, what is this called? Oh, the Fusion Ink foundation, and I have it in BD30. I love this foundation. It's amazing. It's literally like water, like putting water on your skin. I have had this a while, so I don't know if it's still good, but I'm gonna use it anyway. If they don't smell weird and they don't make me break out, I keep using it. But it's literally so lightweight on the skin. That is a horrible place to swatch. What am I doing? And you can, it's like mixing in with the yellow NARS. But this is definitely a summer color on me. I like using this during the summer because it's super lightweight, but it still gives you good coverage. It's one of my favorites. So I've been trying to, foundation is one of those things that I just really like to purchase. It's one of my favorite things to shop for. When a new one comes out, I have to have it. It's a sickness. So So I really struggle with kind of reeling myself in and being like, you don't need this. But I feel like I've been doing a little bit better in that regard. So I'm very happy with myself. So now that I'm all clean, we're gonna move on to primers. And I have a lot of primers. So this is the third compartment in my little bin here. And I mainly keep it as a third compartment because a lot of these are backup primers. Right now I'm only been using my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer because my skin has been so dry. So I keep the 3 primers that I use the most kind of up front of that compartment. But I think I do need to figure out, maybe I'll put like the foundation, like 3 foundations and 3 primers that I use the most in the front, and then the rest of my foundations and the rest of my primers. But that's why we're here today, for me to kind of sit here and talk to you guys, talk to myself, and figure out how I really want to organize these, because I just threw everything in here the first time. So yeah, first up is my Smashbox one. I love this, it's amazing. And then I have the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I like this one as well. I mentioned that I'm trying to use this up because it's kind of old. It's coming up on a year that I've had this, so I want to finish it up. And then I got this little sample one to kind of keep in my collection for when I want to revisit it. And I'll probably repurchase the full size in the future, but for now I have so many primers I don't need another one. So hoping to use that up, keeping the sample in my collection. Then I have my Milk Makeup Blur Sticks. I have the luminous one and the normal one. I love these things. They're the best for filling in my pores because they fill in my pores but they don't clog them, which is something I really struggle with. Next up we have my Marc Jacobs Do You Dew Drops. I use this as a primer. I know it's not a primer, but I use it as a primer. I'm obviously keeping this in my collection. I'm so excited for these products to come back. I kind of want the rose gold drops. They're his new highlighter, but like, do I really need them? Next up we have the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer, this little sample. I honestly didn't really like this that much. I don't love the original Smashbox like primer thing. I love the primerizer, not really a huge fan of the normal primer. So I'll probably pass this along. And then I have my Glossier Priming Moisturizer. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this. There are so many other Glossier products that I think are better than this. It's just a little bit too lightweight for my skin. I don't find that it like really creates a smooth base or anything. I don't know. I don't find myself kind of reaching for it as much as my other like moisturizing primers. But I feel like it's a hard product to pass on because, I don't know, it's Glossier. I feel like I have to keep it. So this is a maybe. This is going to be a maybe for me. We'll see. And then I have a ton of like little sample primers. So let's see what I got here. I have 2 MAC, what are these? Natural Radiance Base Luminizer, both in Radiant Yellow. Not really seeing a lot of radiance in it. It's just kind of a yellow cream. It looks like custard, like donut custard, like that yellow like pudding almost. I love that stuff. It's pretty, but like I don't need 2 mini samples, so I'm gonna keep one and pass on another one. I have a friend who's like really into makeup too, so any of this stuff I'll put it in a bag for her and she goes through it and kind of takes whatever she wants. So that's usually who gets my stuff. But anyway, next up I have this Peter Thomas Roth 14 karat gold pure luxury lift and firm prism cream. I got this I think in a Sephora play and I was like really excited to try it out, but I haven't used it since I got it because I just have so many other illuminating creams that I like. It's like kind of a weird color. I'm gonna pass it along. If I'm not in love with it, I'm getting rid of it. Next up I have this Works in Transit Camera Close-Up. I actually really like this stuff. I've only used it a few times because the sample is so small and I don't know how much it's filled up, but I'm trying to use it sparingly because the stuff is kind of expensive. But I do really like it. It creates a nice smooth base. Like I said, those are my favorite kinds of primers. It says you can use it as a mask, moisturizer, and primer in one, so I thought that was really cool. I had never really tried anything from this brand, so I was excited that Lyn gave this to me. But yeah, so I'm definitely keeping this. I have the Hourglass Veil Primer and the YSL Touch Eclat Blur Primer. Again, 2 very good like pore filling primers. I like having little samples of these because I like to travel with these. And then the last 2 primers that I have are the Becca First Light Priming Filter, which I honestly don't really enjoy. You know what, I'll keep it and give it another try. Who knows? And then I also have this e.l.f. Glow Lotion. I like to keep this as like a drugstore alternative to some of my glowing primers because if I ever do a drugstore tutorial, it'd be a nice thing to have. It's just a very like lightweight, hydrating glow primer. Okay, I have 3 primers left. I have 3 primers that don't fit in here because they're too tall. This is the Burberry Fresh Glow Primer. I love this stuff. I'm really pissed that they're getting... Oh, that was a hiccup. I'm really pissed that they're getting rid of it. I actually just finished... This is my empties bag. I actually just finished one. And I have this one that Lyn gave me, so I'm gonna use that sparingly. And then I have my Fenty Beauty Primer, which I actually really like this stuff, but I haven't used it in so long. Like, I need to start using it again. And then I have this Dior CC Air Flash Primer. This is super old. And the last time I used it, it like really broke out my skin. So I think I'm going to declutter this. Now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, kind of reorganize this drawer, and then I will bring you guys back and show you kind of what I did with it. So I really didn't change all that much. I just kept my primers in the back. I'm just going to put this on my counter and just use it. Because as for right now, like that's really the only primer that I've been using. And this one when I want some glow. And then I'm going to put my Fenty Beauty Primer up on my desk as well. Just so I can start using it again. But other than that, I just kept the, 6 or 7 foundations that I've been using currently in the front, and then in the middle section I just put all of my foundations that are more geared to my skin for the summer, and then all my primers. So really nothing changed that much. So I'm gonna put this drawer back up on its little shelvy thing. Oh god, oh god. And then we will take out powders. Okay, so my second drawer is this, and I have a divider that runs long ways and then 2 that runs the short way. Hot dog hamburger. So I have concealers, setting powders, bronzers, highlighters, blush, cream products. And then behind those 2 drawers, I have all of my overflow powder products. So we're gonna go through all of that now. So I actually, when I was doing this, decluttered a few concealers because they were just old and I just didn't want to use them anymore. Mainly I decluttered my Tarte Shape Tape because I really hate that concealer. I really hate it. So I decluttered it. But all I have left are my NARS Soft Mattes, my Glossier Stretch concealers, which those go up in the front because they're the ones that I use the most often. And then I have my ColourPop concealers. Love these. Those go in here. Those ones are a little bit more full coverage, so I use those for when I'm like going out some places. And then I have my newest edition. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. I really love this concealer actually. I think it's better than the Tarte Shape Tape. It's like, it gives this like luminous, like, I don't know, the finish is a lot better. It doesn't crease as much. It's not as matte. It's still full coverage, but I don't feel like it is. I have it on today. It's not creasing at all. It's beautiful. So that goes in there. And then I have my NARS Radiant Creamy, which this is almost done. I'm trying to use this up so I can get a new one. I am going to declutter the Kat Von D concealer sample that I have. I did like it, but I just don't find myself reaching for it. So it's just, there's no point in having it. And then I have my Givenchy Mr. Light Pen. Love this stuff. It's amazing for under eyes. It brightens, it conceals, it does everything. I use it mostly under my eyes. I don't really use it to spot conceal, but it's like this little pen. It's amazing. I freaking love it. And then I have this Bye Bye It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Illumination Concealer. Love this stuff when my bags are like really prominent, so I'm definitely going to keep this. This is in the shade Light, and then I also have the normal one in medium tan, but this does not work for me. It's too dark, so I'm going to declutter this one. And then I have my Milk Makeup Concealer, which I love. It's a little bit too dark for me right now, but during the summer this is my go-to. It's super lightweight on the skin. It's really beautiful. Actually, it's not too bad right now. I might be able to get away with this. But I love this concealer. It's really amazing. It gives you nice coverage, but it's not like overpowering on the skin. Yeah, so that's all of my concealer. I feel like that's not bad. That's not a ton of concealer. I'm really happy with myself. So next we're going to move on to powders, and I really only have a few setting powders in here, but there are way more in that extra bin. So first up is my Hourglass powder. I'm trying to use this up because I like it, but it's not my favorite anymore. My favorite pressed setting powder is now the Charlotte Tilbury one, so trying to use this up. I hit pan. It's a pretty big pan, but hopefully that will be happening soon. And then my 2 favorite loose powders are the Laura Mercier, which that goes in there, and then also the Glossier Water. I really love this stuff. So those are the powders that sit in that drawer. But then the rest of my powders are in this little plastic case, if I can get it open. There it goes. So first up, I have my 2 favorite drugstore powders, which these are good if I ever want to do drugstore tutorials. This is the Wet n Wild Pressed Powder Compact Photo Focus one, and then the Maybelline Fit Me Satin Smooth. So these are my 2 favorites. Then I also have my Travel Laura Mercier one. I've had this forever. I've actually used it up, but I like when I'm traveling, I put powder from my big one into the little one, so I don't have to carry that big one around, so that's why I keep that. And then I have my RCMA powder. I really want to try using this again. I haven't used it in so long, and there's so much in here, but I need to find another container to put this in. If you guys have any recommendations for containers to transfer this into, let me know. And then I have this Lancome powder, which I've had forever, literally since I was in high school. I think I'm gonna declutter it because it's at least 4 years old, at least 4. So it is a nice powder, like it's really soft. Oh god, it has like a very perfumey scent. Like it's a nice color for me. It's a nice soft powder. Doesn't look dry at all. Maybe I'll keep it. And then I have my Givenchy Prism powder. Again, I like to use this during the summer because it's a little bit dark when you mix all these colors for me right now. But I did get matched with this in the summer, so I'm not holding that against it. So that'll definitely move up into the drawer in the summertime. And then I have, what is this? Oh, I have some contouring palettes in here, so we'll just talk about them. This is my NARS Travel Duo of Orgasm and Laguna. Love this stuff. I like to travel with it, so I'm going to keep that. And then I have this Catrice contouring palette. This contouring shade is actually a good dupe for the Kevyn Aucoin light shade, so that's why I keep it around. Wow, there was nothing decluttered in this section. Not doing good things. But yeah, so that is all of my powders that I keep in that first bin. We're gonna move on to bronzers, highlights, and blushes. All the ones in the drawer I'm probably gonna be keeping because they're all of my favorites. But some in the bin I might be decluttering, so when we get to that, that'll be more exciting. But I just have my Marc Jacobs bronzer in here. I have my Kevyn Aucoin contouring powder. I have the Balm Betty Luminizer. And then I have this ColourPop bronzer that I like. I actually haven't used this in a while, so I need to get on that. It's a nice shade. It's better for me in the summer because it's a little bit warmer, but you know. And then I have my Hourglass bronzer, my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo, which I love, and I don't think they make these anymore, but it's really pretty. And then I have a backup of my NARS Laguna, which I haven't opened yet, but I just finished one, so that's why that is in there. So next up, highlights. I have 2 of my favorite ColourPop highlights in here, Flexitarian and Lunch Money. I have my 2 Becca highlights, which is Opal and Prosecco Pop. Then I have my MAC Oh Darling, my Essence Pure Nude, my NARS Hot Sand. These are all of my like go-to favorites, which is why they're in here. And then I have the Stila, is this Transcendence highlight, which I like this. It's like that purpley one. I like this when I'm like going out, like when I need like something really intense. And then I have a Becca Champagne Pop little sample, which I'm trying out. I think this color will be better for me in the summer though, so that's why that is up here. I think what I'm going to do next is open up my container and start decluttering some of this stuff, just in case there is stuff I want to move into here. So first up, we have my Jouer highlight. I do really like this, but I just don't reach for it that much, so that's why it's back in here. But it is a beautiful color, so I'm going to keep that. I have 2 of my Physicians Formula highlighters. These are better for me in the summer because they're a little bit darker, so I keep those in here. I have 2 of my darker, well, my 1 darker ColourPop highlight and this purpley highlight that I keep in here, and then the Artist Couture diamond powder because I don't really reach for that often, but it is really pretty. And then I have, these more highlights, okay. Then I have my Dose of Colors Desi and Katie highlight. I have this in here because it's a little bit too dark for me right now, and I also don't like reaching for it in like tutorials and stuff because you cannot get these products anymore. So I keep that in here. And then my Pixie and Aspen Ovard highlight, which honestly, I was like really obsessed with this for a little while. And then I have the Master Chrome highlight. So all good like drugstore options. So then I have some blushes, and I have the Too Faced Love Flush in I Will Always Love You, which I might put this up into the front because I'm almost hitting pan on it, so I kind of want to use this up. So we're going to put that up here. And then I have my Milani Baked Blush in Rosa Romantica, which I just haven't found myself reaching for that much, so I put it in here. I also have this NARS blush, like quad, what is this? I don't even know what this is. A Wavy Glow Illuminating Powder. It's a little bit dark for me right now, so in the summer it'll be perfect. And I have my favorite Wet n Wild blush in Rose Champagne. Rosé Champagne? I don't know, but it's beautiful. So those I keep in here. And then bronzers is where the good stuff is gonna happen. So first up I have my butter bronzers, and I have one in bronzer and light bronzer. I think I'm going to keep bronzer and declutter light bronzer because it just like, it's like a little bit too light for me. You can barely see it on my skin. It looks like a setting powder, so I'm gonna declutter that. When these bronzers first came out, that was the only shade I could get, so that's why I have it. But then I bought bronzer, and that's just like a better shade for me. I want to see if I can get one of the darker shades for summer. And then I have this True Match powder that I used to use as a contour during the summer, but it is just a little too dark for me, so I'm gonna declutter that. And then I have this Tarte Park Avenue Princess sample. I don't like this. It looks weird on my skin. It makes me look orange. Decluttering that. And I have this Bare Minerals Medium Tan Loose Powder Foundation that I actually used to use as a bronzer. I'm gonna declutter that. Alright, and then I have two NARS blushes here. I have Orgasm. I have bronzer all over me. I have Orgasm in Deep Throat. I do have more NARS blushes, but they're up in my current blush faves. These shades I use definitely more during the summer. They're more like pinky and corally, so that's why they're in here. But I do love NARS blushes. They're amazing. I feel like I'm doing pretty good, guys. So that is all the stuff that I'm going to declutter from this case. Alright, on to blushes that I keep up here. I surprisingly keep a lot of blushes up here because I don't know why. So first up is one of my favorites. This is Too Faced Papa Don't Peach. This is my favorite. It smells so good. It works a little bit better for me during the summer, but I use it year round, so I just keep it in here. It's one of my most used. And then I have my my Tory Burch bronze and kind of corally blush. I love using this. So just like when I'm in a rush and I just want to like do everything at once. It's actually a really pretty like combo. And then I also keep two of my favorite NARS blushes, which is Madly. I'm sure you guys know that because I use that the most. And Torrid. So I keep those in here. And then I also have my Hourglass Dim Infusion blush. I like peachy colors, can you tell? And then I'm gonna try and put this Too Faced blush in here. I have two Tarte blushes, a mini one and a full-sized. One is in the Seduce, which is a nice like neutrally shade, so I'll probably keep that one up here. And then one is in Partey, which looks a little bit pinker. I'm not sure I like that. I might declutter this mini one. So definitely keeping Seduce, I really like that. Decluttering Party. And then keeping my ColourPop Aphrodisiac blush. So not bad for blush. Because I don't really wear a lot of it. So now we're moving on to some of my favorite cream products that I keep up here. I actually think I keep all of my cream products up here. Because I don't own a ton. First up is the NARS Liquid Laguna Bronzer. I love this stuff. It's amazing. I need to start using it again because it just gives this like beautiful bronzy glow to the skin. I pumped out way too much to show you what's happening. There it is. But I do really like this stuff. I find myself using it a lot during the summer because, I don't know, I find liquid products are just a little bit easier to apply in the summer. I don't really know why. That makes hardly any sense. But that's kind of when I use it the most. It's also the color works really well for me in the summer because I feel like the liquid bronzer is a little bit more pigmented than the powder bronzer. So, but I also have my Milk makeup stick, which I love. Like, I'm obsessed with this. As you guys know, I've been using it like every single time I do my makeup on camera. And then I also have this cushion contour from Wet n Wild, which again is one of my favorite contour products, well, liquid versions of it at least. And I also have the matching highlighter. These products are really amazing if you want to try out cushion highlights and contours, but don't want to like buy a high-end brand version. These are amazing. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. Next up, I have my NARS Copacabana stick. I haven't used this in so long. This packaging is honestly disgusting. But I definitely want to reincorporate this into my routine because I do really like it. I also have this Essence highlighter thing. I got this in a Allure box recently, and it's like pretty, but I just like haven't really tried it out yet, so I really need to use it and figure it out. But here is it swatched on my arm. I don't know if you guys are able to see that. The lighting is like kind of weird right now, but it's just like a really pretty, it looks like kind of glittery, so I don't know, but that's a maybe for me. I might be passing that along to a friend, but for now I'm gonna keep it. Then I have my Cover FX mini illuminating drops in Moonlight. Love these things. And then I have this Trestique highlight. Let's see. Oh, I feel like every time I swatch this, I'm like, this is so pretty, I need to use it, and then I never freaking use it. So that's going back in there. And I have my Sephora drops, which I love. And then this Milk Makeup highlight sample in Lit. Which again, this is another product that like I need to start using because it's just amazing. So none of my cream products are going anywhere. That's not really a big surprise to me at all. I don't really have that many, so. Alright, so next up we have eyes. This is what this looks like. So I just have a long divider in here, and on this side I have brow products, and then single eyeshadows and liquid eyeshadows. And then on the back side of this, I have mascaras, eye primers, lashes, and eyeliners. So we're gonna go through this. So first up in my little brow, products. I have my brow pencil that I always use, as well as my brow stuff. This is the Glossy Hey Boy Brow and the Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit. Really love those products. I have a pencil sharpener, some tweezers. I have the Brow Gal brow powder. This like trio. I don't use this. I'm decluttering this. I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil, which I still use every now and then when I want my brows to be a little bit darker. And I have my NYX one as well. I thought this broke, but it randomly started working again, so I have that one. And then I have my clear brow gel. This little mini Benefit Gimme Brow, which is mostly dry, so I might be throwing that away. And then I have this IT Cosmetics brow pencil, which is like okay, but not the best, so I keep it as like a random backup. Oh, and I have this brow chalk from Maybelline, which I used to really like, but I haven't used it in a while, so I need to get back into using that. How did I have all this stuff in here? Alright. So now we're going to move on to my single eyeshadows and my cream eyeshadows that I have in here. Honestly, there probably won't be many to declutter, so I'm not sure that this is going to be very exciting, but I'll show you kind of what I have in my collection. So first up, they're so wedged in here, I cannot get them out. Alright, first up we have 4 ColourPop Super Shock shadows. One is Lala, which is my favorite and most used, and then I have 3 new ones here. I have Cheap Date, Waddles, and White Rabbit. So these are all new ones that I just recently purchased that I haven't really tried out yet. This one is Cheap Date. It's like this gold glitter-y shade. And they're all just kind of like bronzy shades. These two are like bronzy, so I need to use these. I just always reach for Lala. Lala's my favorite, so I don't really branch out very often, but I love those. And then I also have my Dior Cream Shadow, another one of my favorites. I have my Stila Kitten. This is my favorite inner corner highlight. It's amazing. I love this shade. And then I also have L'Oreal Infallible, what is this, Iced Latte, which this is actually a really good dupe for a kitten. That's why I own it. You'll be seeing that soon. And then I also have one of the Infallible shadows in Amber Rush, which I actually haven't used this one yet, but it looks really beautiful, like right up my alley. I love these shadows. They're really creamy. They're a great option like from the drugstore. They're actually pretty similar, I feel like, to the ColourPop Super Shock shadows in like texture and finish, but obviously not in formula. But I do really like them, so I need to start using this color. It's really pretty. it's very similar to Lala, so that's probably why I haven't used it. And then we have 4 of these Stila glitters. I have 2, oh gosh, I have 2 of the like straight glitter ones in Smoldering Satin and Smoky Storm, which are like super similar in color. And then I have a glitter one in Sunset Cove. This is one of the like pastel-y shades. I don't know if these were limited edition. I don't think they were. But like that's what that looks like. It's like kind of duochrome-y almost. I feel like this will be really pretty like during the summer, but I really haven't used it that much. And then I have one of the, this is the, what is this? Shimmer and Glow shadows. So this one's just shimmery, it's not like straight glitter. And this is in Kitten. Haha, Kitten, my favorite. And that's what that looks like, but I haven't used this either, so I recently just got this, so I need to play around with it. But I have those, and then I have the ColourPop Supernova shadows, which I used these once and they were okay. They weren't the best, they weren't my favorites. They're pretty, but they didn't really stay very long, although this shade looks good. This shade was really patchy, the Hard to Impress one, so I was like, I don't know, I used it once and then I wasn't really, although now it doesn't look patchy. I don't know what was going on. Maybe I need to try these again. I kind of like put them into the back of this drawer and like really haven't played with them that much, but that's what that looked like. So again, more products I need to test out more, so I can't really declutter them or anything. And then I have this Smashbox Shadow Duo in Cover Shot. This came in a Sephora Play, I believe. I don't think I've ever touched this because I'm just not gonna reach for like this like very basic shadow duo. I don't know. The light pink shade here is like really pretty. It's like very metallic, but I honestly think I'm going to declutter this just because it's been in my collection for about 4 months now and I have not reached for it, so that's gonna go. I also have my NARS Dual Intensity Shadow in Himalaya. I love the shadow. That's staying. And I have the NARS Single Cream Shadow in Mykonos, which is like this really pretty purpley gray toned. As you can see, this has been very loved. I used to be obsessed with this. I haven't used it in a while, but I need to like pull it back out. But yeah, so that is, oh wait, I have a few more things in here. I also have this Makeup Forever, I don't even know what this is, color paint. What this looks like. I feel like I've used this a few times. I got this over the summer, and I used to use it a lot because when we went to the beach and stuff, because it literally does not move on your eyes, which was good in that like humidity and stuff. So that's what that looks like. It's just like a pretty champagne-y, glowy color. And then I have 2 shadow sticks. One is a NARS shadow stick in Goddess, which looks like this. I actually think I stole this from Lyn. It's just like a champagne-y pinky shade. You can't even see that on my skin, like at all. But it is really pretty. It'd probably be like a really pretty like highlighter shade, like inner corner highlight. And then I have this NYX one in Sparkle Leopard, which is again a bronzy shade because that's all I wear on my eyes. So that's a good drugstore option. I like to, you know, keep some drugstore products in my collection, so that'll definitely be staying. I have 10 different eyeshadows now swatched on my hand. So that's really it for my single shadows. I don't have a ton, and a lot of the single shadows that I did own, I depotted and put in my Z palette. Like I had a few MAC shadows, and I just don't really buy a lot of single shadows because I just know that I'm not really going to use them, so I tend to stay away from them. But it's about the only makeup product that I tend to stay away from. Alright, so now we're going to move on to mascaras. And I have my eyelash curler. I have a backup eyelash curler because you just never know. And then I have my 2 favorite mascaras, which is the Lancome Monsieur Big and the Maybelline Total Temptation. Those are my holy grails right now. I have a travel size version of the Monsieur Big, just because I bought this before I got the full size because I wanted to test out. And I do like throwing this in my purse sometimes, or I like to travel with it. I also have this Urban Decay Troublemaker mascara, this little sample, but it's like completely dry, so I'm gonna toss this. I use it a lot, I liked it, but not enough to buy the full size, so. Then I have two of my favorite drugstore mascaras, both from Essence. In addition to my Maybelline one, obviously. And the first one is the Volume Stylist. This one is definitely my favorite. It has, of the two, it has a very fluffy brush, kind of like, it's not as fluffy as the Maybelline one, but it's definitely fluffier. This gives great volume and length, so I really like that one. And then I have the Lash Princess. This is the like teal colored one. I don't know what the difference is, but there are different colors. And this one has like a pretty fluffy brush as well. So those are really good affordable options that I like to keep in my collection. I also have the Marc Jacobs mascara. This one's still pretty decent, so I'm going to keep this. I used to use this a lot, but then once I got my Lancome one, that's all I use. So I haven't really reached for anything else. And then I have this Lash Food mascara, which is, the mascara part is a little dry, but the fiber side is still good. So I like to keep it for the fibers just in case I want to add a little something to my lashes before putting mascara on. And then I have my Trish McAvoy. This is the lash curling mascara, which my tube is completely broken. That's not supposed to happen. The silver part is supposed to stay there. So that's kind of annoying, but it was so expensive I can't bring myself to throw it away yet because there's still good product in here. So if I could ever get it open, I will use it again. So those are all the mascaras. I've been trying not to keep as many in my collection because I find it really hard to use up mascara, and now that I have my two ultimate favorites, like I don't find myself wanting to reach for anything else or want to try anything else. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. But I also have my two eyeshadow primers in here as well. And the first is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This one is my holy grail. I love this. I think this is like my third pot ever, so that's definitely a keeper. And then I also have this Laura Mercier Eye Basics thing. I got this in a Sephora Play too. I just haven't tried it out yet. It's supposed to be like a really opaque eye base. That's what it looks like. It's supposed to like conceal redness and any discoloration you have on your eyelids, which I definitely need. When I do like really intense looks, I like to use a very opaque eye base because I do have that like discoloration. So I'm excited to give that a try. I just haven't really done like a full intense look recently, so I haven't gotten to try that out yet, but it's definitely on my list of things to try. So then in the back section, oh, I have another eye primer. This is the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I don't even remember. Oh, okay, so this is more of like a balmy eyeshadow primer. It doesn't really have any color to it, but it's just supposed to make your eyeshadow last longer. And it has like almost like a, not greasy, but like a, I don't really know. It feels like a like smoothing primer for your face. Like it has that like almost silicone-y smoothing feeling to it. I do like this eyeshadow primer, but I honestly haven't been really using eyeshadow primer in my eyes that much anymore, so I just haven't reached for it. But definitely a good thing to keep in my collection just because it's something different. If I don't want like an opaque finish on the eyelid, that's definitely something good to reach for. But yeah, so then I just have some lashes, which I really don't wear lashes that often, but I have these Pure Cosmetics ones, and then I have a Ardell pair. I just keep these just in case like there's like events or something. I also have lash glue, again, just in case. And then the last section in this drawer is all of my eyeliners. I don't really have a ton as I hold like an entire stack in my hand, but we're just gonna run through them. So first up, I have my two Marc Jacobs highliners in Rococo and Fine Wine, I believe. I love these, they're amazing. I want to keep adding to this collection because they're the best eyeliners I have ever used in my entire life. They do not budge, they do not move. So I love those. I also have a few NARS eyeliners. This one is in Kyoto, and this one is London. So it's just a deep gray and like a, I guess like a shimmery, like army green color. I will show you these. I love these eyeliners as well. They're definitely not as budge proof as the Marc Jacobs ones, but they're really pretty shades, so I like to keep them in my collection. So I have those. I have some of my favorite liquid liners, which are the Physicians Formula ones. I have a brown one and a black one. Favorite liquid liners. They're amazing. They have lash serum in them. I have, what else do I have in here? I have a ColourPop eyeliner in Show Me, which is very similar to Rococo. It's kind of like a shimmery bronzy brown. This one has a little bit more of a gold undertone to it, but they're very similar. I like bronzy brown eyeliners, in case that was a surprise to anybody, because I like shimmery bronze eyeshadows. I also have this Beauty For Real bronzy liner as well. This one's a little bit more red toned and a little bit deeper than the ColourPop one, if that'll focus. There we go. So that one's nice. I actually haven't tried this on my eyes yet. I got this in a Allure box, I believe, like last month or something. So I haven't really tried that out. I haven't been really wearing a lot of eyeliner recently. I don't know why. And then I have my favorite eyeliner ever on this planet. This is a Dior eyeliner. I don't even know what it's called or what the shade was. The shade was something violet, I believe. But this was my favorite makeup product all through high school, all through college. I was obsessed with this. It's a beautiful, like, plummy shade. I used to wear this with every single eye look that I ever did. I was obsessed with it, and I don't think they make it anymore, so that was heartbreaking to me. So I keep this little nub because I loved it so much, but I probably won't ever use it again just because you can't get it, so, but I keep it anyway. So then I just have some random miscellaneous liners here. I've got a Makeup Geek one in espresso. I have a MAC Studio something pencil. Oh, this is an NC25. This is like when I want to put in my waterline, when you do that like nude liner, whatever I'm trying to say. I don't know. That's what this looks like. So I like to keep that around. I have the Ciate Fierce Flicks liner. I actually just got this in a Ipsy bag, I believe. I haven't tried this yet, but I definitely want to. Always looking for different options for liquid liner. I have this Trish gel eyeliner in black. I like to use this in my tight line and waterline because it's super intensely black, but like it hardly moves. And it's really, really soft. I don't know. It's just really nice eyeliner. And then I have my Kat Von D tattoo liner, which I thought was dried up, but there's still a little bit left in here, so like there's still a lot left in there, so I just keep that, hopefully to use it up. And then I have some mini highliners from Marc Jacobs. They're just two black ones that I've gotten in subscription boxes just for when I travel and stuff. So yeah, that is all the eyeliners that I own, which I feel like isn't really that much, but I feel like it's a lot because I don't really wear eyeliner that much, but whatever. And I actually have an extra pencil sharpener too. I don't know why that was back there. I usually keep those in my tools. So that was kind of it for this drawer, my eye drawer. And then the last drawer that I have is just filled with eyeshadow palettes that I really like to use. So that's kind of like redundant. If you want to know like what my favorite eyeshadow palettes are, you can go watch my 5 best, 5 worst. All 5 of those eyeshadow palettes live in that drawer. And then kind of like a few other random ones. So I'm not really going to go through that. There's nothing to declutter in there, and they're all palettes I've talked about on this channel before like a million times. So yeah, so that was kind of all of my makeup storage, all of my new acrylic drawers and everything. Like I said, I will leave the links to the drawers and the boxes that I have for you guys in the description box if you guys are interested. They're definitely really useful. They're amazing. They're perfect for makeup storage. They're supposed to be for shoes. I don't know if they're going to be really good for shoes, but they're great for makeup. So thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in our next video. Bye guys!